I think I can confidently say that after last night, as Dragon Ball fans, we're in the correct timeline. As Dragon Ball fans, we have won. Last night at the Dragon Ball Genki Damatsuri event, we finally got the confirmation of something that we have been begging for so many years now. Last night, they confirmed that not only is Dragon Ball Super coming back in terms of the anime, we're finally going to be getting the Galactic Patrol arc, which I believe in the manga it was the Galactic Prisoner, like as the arc, right? But they are calling it the Galactic Patrol arc. Why is that so important? That means that finally, after so long, Moro will finally be animated. Finally. Like, let me put this into perspective for you guys. When that manga, like, started adding those specific characters, right? Because it's not just Moro, it's also Merus as well. When the manga started including those characters, that was in November and December of 2018. We are in 2026 now. We just passed the 7-year mark for when those characters made their first appearances in Dragon Ball Super. And now they're finally going to be getting animated. We waited 7 years. Like, this would have been the 8th year. We've waited over half a decade to finally get these characters animated. And the reason why it's such a big deal is because, one, the manga continued after the anime ended. And we know Dragon Ball Super just covered Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, what else? The Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament. Then we had the Future Trunks saga, and then Tournament of Power, right? But then we got Broly, right? Which was fire, by the way, which was fire. And then after Broly was Superhero, and that was it. That was it. But the manga kept going, and we ended up getting, Moro and Granola, right? So now that Moro is finally going to be getting animated, what does that mean for us as Dragon Ball fans? Well, one, obviously, as the anime continues, we get more stuff to watch. But also, I'm so glad that I can actually say this now. Now that that arc is getting animated, we can finally get Moro and Merus in the video games. And that's what has me super excited. Just obviously apart from the manga content and obviously apart from the anime content too. We're finally able to get those characters in the video games because the rule of thumb is if they aren't animated, they aren't in the video games. And I think the only exception to that rule, which is a very, very special exception, is Dragon Ball Heroes, which is not even a thing anymore. It finished. So still, I'm so excited, bro. Like, the games that we all know and love can potentially get those characters. It obviously depends on when they decide to release the anime, but if it's still getting support after a certain point, Dragon Ball Universe 2, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Dokkan, Legends, like we need more details, but probably the new game, like, Age 1000, that could potentially get like those characters too, like depending on how they support it in the future. But we can finally get those characters in the video games. It's more content for us to eat. It's more content for us to eat. And I'm so happy that we've all made it to the point where we can say with our chests, we can get Moro in the video games. Like, after last night, I'm sitting here thinking, who could voice act Moro? You know what I mean? Like, same thing with like Merus. Like, how are they gonna animate it? Like, how long is that arc gonna be, right? There's so much when it comes down to just speculating about what the future of Dragon Ball now holds, now that we finally have that arc getting animated. Because 100%, if we're getting Moro, there's no way we're not gonna get Granola. And once we get that, the internet's gonna explode. Oh my goodness. But back on track with the video games, I'm really excited to see like how they're gonna implement these characters. Like, if I were to strictly focus on Dragon Ball Legends, right, I would say that for sure we would get Moro, right? Whichever form of Moro that they decide to give us, I'm fine with. As long as we get the character, I'm good, right? But we will get Moro, and we will definitely get Merus as well, right? I believe that we would also get at least new versions of Goku, I mean, for obvious reasons, and also Vegeta. If they wanted to give us a few extras, we could probably get maybe like Piccolo and Gohan as well. I'm so shocked that Yamcha was even a part of that arc. But the thing is, they would have to give us obviously the next episode in that, which would be episode the Galactic Patrol Saga. And not only that, I also think that they would give us a brand new tag, which would be the Galactic Patrol. Now, if they decide to do that, it's up to them, but it would make sense fitting that arc only because of the fact that like they could utilize that in order to make some of the characters work well with each other. Granted, that's where the episode comes in, but I would like to see him, them have that as a tag, right? Now, obviously, if we get Moro, he wouldn't be on that tag, but it doesn't change the fact that you could still have that. A case in point would be the Daima tag, right? Daima has the Daima tag and obviously their own episode, but there's moments where they just boost the tag, right? So in circumstances like that, right, if you want to boost everybody, including Moro, you would just boost the Galactic Patrol Saga, right? But if you want to boost like specifically the Galactic Patrol as a tag, you would just boost them. Moro would be out of that, but you would boost Goku, Merus, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, or whoever, right? Which would be honestly kind of cool. And also, they could finally give the Galactic Patrol tag to Jocko. Like, he's been in Legends, I believe, since day one and doesn't have that as a tag. So they can give the Galactic Patrol to Jocko just to finally give him the Galactic Patrol. But I think more importantly, apart from like the Galactic Patrol or even like episode the Galactic Patrol Saga, the other thing would be what tags would Moro and Merus have, right? So if we were to start with, I guess if we start with Moro, he would get merging for very obvious reasons. But not only that, he could also have regen, which is a very big thing. If you guys haven't read the manga, Moro actually ended up, consuming, I was about to say, I'm thinking Kirby for a second, I was about to say 02, 7-3, right? And 7-3 actually copied Piccolo's abilities, right? Obviously Piccolo's able to regenerate, Moro consumes 7-3, which means he now has the power to regenerate, right? So he could be on regen. Obviously he's the main villain of the entire arc, so he would get powerful opponent as well. Now, I don't know how well, I mean, regen has had a few boosts as of late, but I also recognize that this is like super early, well before like that anime has even started. So we have to kind of completely discredit all the units that are in Dragon Ball Legends now, because by the time that anime starts, we're gonna have a completely different meta. So completely disregarding all of the current characters and units that we have in the game right now, I would say that regen is obviously one that he would be on, but I think the safest option, because it tends to get boosted a lot, would be powerful opponents, because again, he's the main villain of the arc. So powerful opponents, obviously whatever units they decide to release at the time, hopefully you'll have like a team to work on. But even if we were to just like, let's say that anime released and let's say like Moro's already in Dragon Ball Legends, right? He would work with LF Android 13. He would work with LF Super Janemba. If you want to use him for whatever reason, there is Ultra Half Cryptid Fusion Zamasu. I stand by saying that unit has kind of fallen off. Like I've one-shotted him with a unit that's currently in the game, so I'm like, he is an option if you really need to use him, right? But we also did get the confirmation of Ultra Buhan, right? Which we will get the full reveal during the Legends information. But you would have him to work with, which I'm pretty sure he's going to be relatively strong as well. So there are options. There would have been options if, Moro were to release right now, right? So that would be interesting. But I do believe that merging powerful opponents and regen would probably be his best bets. But apart from that, you also have Merus, right? If you guys don't know, Merus was an angel like trainee, if you will. But there's two versions of him though. But I don't think that they'll go with the second version. I think they will stick strictly with the angel version of Merus, right? Even though yes, he is part of the Galactic Patrol, he's an angel, which means by default God Key, which is going to give him a lot of safe options just in general, right? Especially with that arc, and we all know Ultra Instinct Goku is also part of that arc. Super safe option, right? definitely Daki will be one. Again, Galactic Patrol, I think that would be a tag that they would introduce into the game alongside Merus, which would work with a slew of other characters. But after that, honestly, I think it would just be like Galactic Patrol or a Galactic Patrol Saga. So that way you can either boost specifically like the Galactic Patrol units, or if you do have Moro, you can include him as well. But if that was the case, I think, well, okay, it kind of depends on what they also do with Jocko too, because with Jocko, I mean, like I don't even think there's a sparking Jocko. But if they ever decided to give us one, which is not an impossibility, then maybe that'll fluctuate whether or not you want to run Galactic Patrol or Galactic Patrol Saga. I don't know. But I do think that those would be like the safest options all around, right? Now, it's going to be interesting to see like how they actually do implement these characters into the game. Because obviously, like I said, the current state of the game is not going to be reflective of when those characters are introduced, right? Like, because if Merus were introduced right now, and we were to think of God Key, actually, now that I think, well, okay, no, Half Corrupted Fusion Zamasu, he would be the one of the units on the team for sure. But still, like it's a long ways away until we get all that content in like Dragon Ball Legends, right? And again, that's only focusing on Dragon Ball Legends. If I were to go into like Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, oh my goodness, like although I'm not sure we would get like, you know, Gohan and Piccolo and all them, we could, right? But we will definitely get Moro. I'm not sure we would get Planet Moro, because I don't know how that would work. But we would probably get like, you know, the huge like aura version of like you know, Ultra Instinct Goku. We can get like obviously Moro in like his various forms. Again, Planet Moro, I'm not too sure about, but we'll see, I guess. We would get Merus, like we would get Vegeta as well, because he trained, even with the Yardrets he trained. There's a lot, and that's Sparking Zero. Like again, is Universe 2 still going on? We'd probably just get Moro and Merus, and that kind of be it. Age 1000, we don't know like what that has in store, but seeing that that's the newest Dragon Ball game, I expect Moro and Merus to be in that game for sure. Obviously not at launch, but like, you know, in the future, and so much more. All I know is I am very excited for the future of Dragon Ball and the video games, because now, after so many years, the anime is finally continuing. Like, not like, you know, another story like Daima, not in the form of a movie like Broly and Superhero. We are finally getting the actual anime continuation of Dragon Ball Super, alongside Dragon Ball Super Beerus, which is also a retelling of, you know, Battle of Gods. And it's apparently gonna be short. It's gonna be 6 episodes long, but they're cutting all of like the nonsense out and getting straight to like the most important bits of that saga, while also redoing some scenes. So again, we got a lot of content to look forward to concerning Dragon Ball Super. I'm excited, but I do want to know in the comment section below, how do you guys feel about Moro finally getting confirmed to be animated after so many years of begging for it? Again, let me know in the comment section below. But with that being said, I'm Ndukauba. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.